Hey everybody. There was some good response to my last video, so I thought I'd make another one. This is me doing Learned League Match Day 5 on the 16th of November. I'll go ahead and share my screen. And away we go. Alvin, Martin Beck, Broadhurst, Court, Imperial, Marquis, New Amsterdam, and St. James are, or once were, all names of what? I believe, so the Alvin Neil Simon Theater is something that I've heard of. I think it may have changed its name or something like that. New Amsterdam Theater, of course, being in New York. These are theaters on Broadway. I think that may be pretty difficult. Marquis and Imperial both sound like General Motors cars, so you know that may distract some people. Something like that. Next. Miss Felicity Lemon, whose first appearance in a novel is 1955's Hickory Dickory Dock, is a fictional character most prominent as the secretary of what detective? Good news here is that my wife is a very, I don't know, regular Masterpiece mystery watcher, and she appears sometimes in the show featuring Hercule Poirot. At least I think she does. I'm pretty sure that's the name. It's kind of hard to forget that one. Speaking of hard to forget, according to the lyrics and title of a hit country single by I will insert Australian guy Keith Urban, the singer learned everything he needed to know from what three Johns. I've heard this song exactly once. It's hard for me to avoid country songs in my neck of the woods and line of work. Just you're on college campus, so sometimes you hear things in North Carolina. And this one stuck out to me. This is John Cougar, John Deere, and John 316. That song is not a song I recommend everyone immediately go out and listen to. It does exist, though. And it's hard to forget if you've heard it. The vector in this image is most closely associated with what television series? I don't know what that means. Oh, good deal. I still don't know what that means. I mean, obviously this is part of a logo. I'm thinking it's part of a logo that has an arrow on the end of it, but I have literally no idea. Even if I've seen this show, I might not be able to figure this out. What's got like an arrow that hooks to the side? I don't even. Did he call it a vector and that's like a hint? I have no idea. I'm going to come back to that and see if I can come up with something fun to say or good to say, because right now I have no idea. Like, it looks like the logo for In-N-Out Burger. Maybe it's Bob's Burger. I'm sure it's not Bob's Burgers. That's the closest I've got to a guess at this point. What is the anatomical term for either of the two bony structures that form the jaw in humans, colloquially the upper jaw and the lower jaw? Well, one of those is the mandible. The upper jaw is the maxilla, but mandible I feel like is safer. I'm pretty sure I'm not misremembering that. I know in the old Britannica commercial he called it the mandibula, which is something a lot of people my age thought it was called for years and years. I remember when I was a kid. In 1998, former White House intern Monica Lewinsky swore an affidavit denying a relationship with President Bill Clinton. This affidavit, signed on January 7th, was filed in a case brought by what former Arkansas state employee? It's the curly-haired one that was suing the president at the time. It's not Jen. It's Paula Jones, I think, was the other person who was suing the president. And Lewinsky, I guess, was supporting him. I was, by this point in this whole Lewinsky scandal thing, like, I was in high school and I was just not interested anymore in like any of that procedural legal stuff. I just don't care about. But I'm pretty sure it's Paula Jones. That was the Arkansas state employee that he got a case brought against him by. Okay, so let's go back to this vector. Question 4. What's got an arrow? I mean, it could be something. Couldn't it just literally be? It could just literally be anything. I have no idea. I mean, what's a show with a? It would involve an arrow or a vector or something. It just looks like part of a corporate logo to me, but I have no earthly idea. The safe bet is always just to say like Breaking Bad and hope that it's something to do with something there. Maybe that could be a symbol of his. Well, yeah. I mean, if he was a teacher and he has a symbol of his product, maybe it could be something like that. I'll try that. We're gonna try Breaking Bad. I don't know. I don't know to what extent that one relies on you having heard it. So one thing I'll say is that I do feel like most llamas are not up on their country music. It's very likely that I would put the 3 on Keith Urban against almost anybody. The Broadway Theaters one is kind of hard. I'd have to look at my opponent's theater rating and also where they live. I think if you live in New York or have been really to a theater on Broadway, like there's a list of 8 of them, you're very likely to remember that. So maybe that would be a 1. Felicity Lemon, I'd be looking at their literature rating and specifically whether they've known some mystery stuff. I do think that's a little bit hard to put the 2 there. I'm going to put the 2 on Breaking Bad or whatever that's going to be. Maybe that's right. I don't know. It has a chance. And then we're going to put a 0 on Mandible and a 1 on Paula Jones. I think I would put the 0 on Mandible for most people. I think that's unless they were just like really, had a quite poor rating in science. I think it's just one of those things people know. Paula Jones, it would depend on age. You can't always tell. If it was someone who wasn't American, I would certainly elevate the difficulty of that because I don't think details of the Clinton scandals are stuff that people in other countries know to this degree. But yeah, that seems like fair defense. A lot of things would move up and down depending on people's ratings today. Like if there was someone who appeared to know a lot of country music or that got the NASCAR question right every year, they might just be more exposed to country type culture, stuff like that. LearnedLeague makes you make weird stereotyping decisions, and it's funny in that way. So anyway, we're going to go ahead and submit that. Broadway Theaters, Hercule Poirot, John Cougar, John Deere, and John 316. Starsky and Hutch apparently had no chance there. The Maxilla and the Mandible, and Paula Jones. All right, another 5 out of 6. I feel totally fine missing that Starsky and Hutch thing. I think that question's gonna be very difficult because I don't know how many. I certainly wasn't around to watch Starsky and Hutch, and even if I had seen 6 episodes, I'm not positive where I would have gotten that from. I'm at this point, this is where I do some digging and I try to figure out if it's in the logo or in the credits or, something like that. But anyway, all right, there we go.